think he really values that hero. If he can get it himself, or if he can't, he will ban it if he doesn't have a plan with it. So he's kind of afraid of that one. Oh, here comes the Sandwave. This is sometimes risky when you're Legion because sometimes you see the third pick here on Hellpoint can be SSA. But we have seen ways, or at least Fresh deal with that when we pick it up. So
Oh yeah.
there's definitely ways to deal with that.
Oh yeah. I mean there are, but it's like it's still annoying. I'm sure it's just knowing that that's there and that's like a way to
Still a support that becomes as good as your own team's main carry.
Yeah.
I mean that's not something you want. So.
It's not often a support can sit in the well and be impactful in a game.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what Cersei brings in a Sandwraith matchup. So yeah, I'm sure that's going through Zlapped's mind right now, whether or not they want the Cersei or something else instead. But see what they go with, because you figure if you don't pick it up here, then it probably would be banned by the Legion team. So
they have two strong heroes in Riptide and Midas, so it's gonna be interesting here. Okay, they don't care about it at all. Okay, maybe we'll see some kind of man up and they'll try and shut him down. But I mean, sometimes that's not too effective either, because all he really needs is a level 6, and then he'll ulti in and get some gold from killing other heroes that are alone somewhere. With of course a setup from someone from his team. And they definitely have that in Riptide and Midas, so even if they do lane against them, he should be fine. But they might not care at all either, and just pick their own carry and play as they want here, try and focus on the mid lane here maybe, or I'm not sure. But they do have a Hellbringer, so I think it's going to be Hellbringer mid and they'll do some tri-lane down bottom. That's my prediction so far, but I'm not sure. They have options open.
yeah, and Hellbringer is interesting. We're mentioning Cersei as a support, just pretty good counter to Sandwraith, but honestly, Engineer is decent as well with the energy field, taking care of those illusions and everything. So I kind of feel like they went kind of that in between. He brings a little bit of counter to Sandwraith as well as he's arguably a little bit stronger of a laner. I mean, of course, compared to Cersei, that's her obvious weakness, is she's not the strongest when it comes to being effective earlier in the game. At least for kills and whatnot.
She's really weak. You need to get past that mid game, and your illusions can start doing stuff, or you're just simply that counter for Sandwave and you're just sitting in the well or something, But else, if you're not against the Sandwave and you pick it up, it's pretty good if you can have a hero where you can put illusion from and you can start pushing lanes as a support and get map control like that. That's pretty impactful too.
With the bands finishing up right there, Dr. Repulsor, Warbeast, Puppet Master, Moira, and Silhouette into Deadlift. So that's how things finishing up there. And now the fourth pick here for Nightmare Knights.
I can understand that Deadlift ban too. I mean, they don't have that mobile heroes if they get caught by that grab. I mean, Midas or Riptide is probably going to kill that hero if he's alone. So good ban there.
Right click in that Kane. I know Shorkon loves Kane actually. He's had history of playing that a long time ago, so I wonder if that's actually a
I'm pretty sure they have the free those free heroes are gonna go in one lane each.
Sure.
Now they kinda need a jungler or a support or two supports or something. So I think that's where they're gonna go. They're acting Ravenor and Hellborn. It's kinda interesting.
Yeah, God, we found that out the other day. So those heroes, they are eligible
Vindicator.
at this point. Vindicator, Ravener, Keeper, Forsaken, those were kind of the four that had been banned for a little bit here because of some reworks, but are available now. And we did see Ravener on Sunday, and unfortunately didn't have the highest impact. It wasn't a pretty quick losing effort, but still. Something tells me, at least Grosse thinks, and I could see it, that he could come back once again and be a decent hero to deal with. So
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think the changes are definitely needed, because before he was just, he ported in and then he two-shotted heroes.
yeah,
And you were stunned in that time, so you had nothing, you could do nothing. And if you first got to that point, you had almost no chance back. We've seen a player that was, who was it now, I think his name was, who was kind of solo carrying some games too, where, the rest of the team were kind of getting dominated sometimes, and then, that guy comes in and all of a sudden they win, so I think the changes are good here. Actually go for it. It's probably going to be Misera playing. He has a history of playing Ravenor. But, I know Haxton's playing it a bit too, but I don't think he likes it that much as a hard carry. I'm not sure though. It could be him, but I think it's Misera playing it.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of funny because we see a Super KGE here in this game, and he's kind of one of the first ones that brought it onto the scene. in
Yeah,
the first
I
game.
like what
So.
Shuriken is doing there. He's right-clicking Myrmidon. If that hero is very strong against Ravenor, you E on top with the ulti, and then the hero can't move, and you have like 20. Yeah, I understand that pick. His job is gonna be to sit on Ravenor, because when you sit on him, he gets plus 10 magic armor or something from his ulti, so Ravenor almost does no damage to him, and you're hitting him down, slowing him down. He can't really move and get around the map. So, but at this point they go for a Mage Bane. So I think they might have expected it was maybe the hardest carry was the Ravenor of the team, and now it's Mage Bane. So Myrmidon might not be the best now, because you kind of picked it up to shut down a hard carry there, and now it's not really working. I'm a fan of that hero, but I think I might be one of the only ones.
The Myrmidon?
The Myrmidon, yeah.
Oh, I know 2-0 likes him. I've seen them play, but yeah, Myrmidon, it's the changes actually, and that ultimate, it's definitely something you got to respect at least somewhat as far as killing the hero. He's one of the harder supports, no doubt, to kill when it comes down to it. So yeah, what an interesting finish to this draft, though, I gotta say. The Myrmidon, you got the Ravener and the Myrmidon into that Mage Bane them snap pick. So
I will say the only bad thing is that they don't have a setup stun on the Legion side. It's all kind of skill shot heroes now, because the wheat field, you kind of want to put that onto a target that's stunned. The same with the Pyromancer stun, the same with the Midas combo. So they'll kind of have to, either they have to be slowed by Riptide and then they can come in and follow up with a stun, or Midas needs a Sheepstick or something and make a combo. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be really rough for them to execute their ganks just because they don't have that setup in the lanes. So I hope it works out for them, but it might cause some trouble and they might miss some kills here and there.
Yeah,
that could be an issue.
Oh, very, very possible here. And so we'll see how that works for them. Again, something else about the Myrmidon, I mentioned the waveform, the ultimate, and everything, but yeah, the new W too, the magic carpets. Interesting how that works now with the splitting being AoE. So, how are they going to lane this, actually? Speaking of that, is this going to be a tri-lane? I mean, I guess they could do like a Pyromancer jungle pull here.
Yeah, they could. I'm pretty sure they expected the tri-lane bottom, but this Mage Bane pick is kind of screwing them a bit here. They didn't expect it, I think, and now they have to deal with that guy, and they can't really tri-lane bottom and at the same time try and shut him down. So I think they'll just, at the same time, if they put Midas top, he's going to do very well against Mage Bane, but I'm pretty sure they're going to pull him regen. He has one potion already. They could potentially pull him, a bit more tangos here. If they have two supports, Zlapped is playing the Magmas here, just to make sure that he has a really good time on Mage Bane. Of course, there's the changes to the health potions, so you can't pull two of those, but he could get an extra set of tangos.
God, that's it. That's true too. You're pointing that out right there. Zlapped playing the Magmas. That is something that secondary supported. So it almost makes you think too, if Sync really had the intention of running that hard carry Ravener, and they kind of just swapped it up at the last with that Mage Bane, and they kind of just went different because of that. So yeah, really interesting finish of the draft here again. With how it worked out. But in the end, it is going to be Zlapped playing the secondary support in this case, as we're talking about. So, yeah, this laning phase, though, it's going to be a fun one to see how it works out here between both of these sides. You do see the Legion team going to be heading towards the bottom lane as a team to start. So is the Hellborn side, other than Mage Bane. He's just going towards top. I guess Hellbringer is just going to sit middle. So, yeah, it is going to be a tri-lane for the Sync team here. So, yeah, Magmas, NG, and Ravener.
So I think it's honestly, if Midas is top, which I think he is, then it's going to put a lot of pressure on him, because he has the potential to kind of take over the game for his team here. If he does very well in the lane here, gets out with a lot of GPM, has nerfed the Mage Bane, and comes in with a gank at one point, he can have a lot of impact for them. And it's also really crucial, as every time you tri-lane with a tri-lane, that who wins this, because that's usually the team that wins the game.
Yeah.
Hellbringer is a very strong hero to have when you're running a tri-lane. Not in the tri-lane, but just he can pour it in and come in and have a huge impact in potential team fight that's happening when he hits level 6 with that ultimate of his. So that's going to be interesting. I guess they have Riptide to come in too, but it's not as impactful as, heroes like Bombardier, Hellbringer, Thunderbringer, those heroes are really strong to have when you have a tri-lane.
Alright, here we go. With the creep wave spawning right here. So yeah, going to be fun. Always fun to see Tri versus tri lane. And with so much potential here. And again, especially at those middles. Also have the impact, mentioning maybe the Hellbringer are going to have the little bit of the better impact, but obviously there's plenty of game here in the early stage to help us determine that. So, see wards going down. Krebsen putting one off to the side here initially. Engineer getting the rev ward down, but just out of range it looks like. So, not going to be able to spot that one. Engineer getting a little curious. Oh boy, they're going. They're going to be going for this. Kex does now backwards, but he will get away from the weed field. So that was the positive right there. And now Pyromancer actually in trouble. The line's down for Magnus to follow. Pyro's taking a good amount of damage. Ravener putting the auto attacks. Not enough for the kill, though. And Pyro will survive. So nobody is going to die from the early exchange here. It's a lot of back and forth, but go figure. That's how it starts, and expecting that to continue here.
Actually, a really smart play from Serenia. You know, not trying to kick the Myrmidon, but kicking himself away from the follow-up, because he knows that that's gonna come there. So, it's, you know, next level play there.
As you pointed out, that's like one of their only ways to do it. In fact, Sandwraith, he's gonna go down. Bloodlust kill coming out for the Hellborn team. They do have a very strong triple stun, as we saw right there, and Super KGE maybe just wasn't really ready for it. He does pour right back in as soon as he reses, which is obviously very quick, but that's a Bloodlust kill, so obviously the start really strong here for Sync already.
Yeah, Senra's not a strong tri-lane hero. I mean, doesn't really offer too much, so it really just wants to sit back and farm, get level 6 and then gank, and you know, I don't think Sync is gonna allow that here. They have 3 heroes with stuns, whereas the Legion side only has 2, where none of them is really a good setup stun. So all they can really do is counter-initiate onto Magnus who already stunned in or something, and then hope for the best. So they have to be very careful here. Hope that Hellborn is gonna miss a stun in the initiation or something, and then capitalize off of that.
Taking a quick look at the other lanes here while we have a little bit of an opening at least. We got the middle lane of Hellbringer versus Riptide. Riptide 9-2, you got Hellbringer 10-0, so pretty back and forth battle so far. In fact, Hellbringer does get a haste rune right here, but he's not going to come bottom with it. He'll go back towards the middle. Top lane, you got Midas at 7-0, Magebane at 13-0. So Haxorin is actually winning the top lane by a bit here against the Midas so far. That's, I would think, a little unexpected.
He is also, I mean, there's a lot of creeps here for Midas that he has potential to see us here. So maybe he's actually doing fine, but it's not good to see that Haxorin is doing very good here. I mean, almost a free farm kind of GPM here.
Yeah, that's like you're even saying. I mean, it's really kind of some pressure on Midas to actually do very well up here and then have high impact as a result. You see right here, too, Hellbringer actually controlling the top room with that haste rune he had, preventing Riptide from taking it.
As you see Haxorin doing here, he blinks on him and then drains him out of mana. And if you don't have mana on Midas here, I mean, you can't really do much. You can only last it. You can get killed, but you can't really make sure that he... Oh, I didn't catch it.
Shortcut going down middle lane, and then the bottom lane. Fine will go down. I was watching the bottom action. Not exactly sure how that middle lane played out, but it looks like Zibbe is able to do enough. The dot damage from the demonic wave, I'm sure, a big part of that. And eventually gets the kill on a Riptide. So Sync is just going pretty ham here early on in the game.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is you blink onto Midas, make sure he has no mana, and then Midas can't really zone you out of the lane.
Yeah.
I mean, Haxorin could almost buy Steam Boots here. I think he's saving up for it. Then go into a live tube after that. Then he's just fine. Oh, I have to stop this.
Well, no, it's fine. I mean, I'm catching it on camera. It's just... he can't do anything. Like, Sandwraith, it's, you know, a benefit of it is that, yes, he has the Desert's Curse to maybe go through the trees and get out of there, but with the triple stun, he just can't even move the whole time.
Yeah. I understand him leveling up E. Just, you know, if you die and your teammates get a turn kill, you have assist on it and it does a bit of damage, but 8% of, you know, 568 health to everything that's around you. That's not a lot of damage dealt to other heroes. I think his skill build is wrong here too. You can't really do this. You have to, you know, go for the later game where you get level 6 and then, you know, you can gank and deal damage. Right now he has level 1 Q, no W. He can't really gank at all, so it's not looking good, I'd say, so far for them here in the lanes.
That's a really good
doing
point.
A good job.
Yeah, not getting anything in that deserted. I mean, his attacks, which usually actually almost surprisingly pretty powerful because of that deserted, he just doesn't have that presence here. And I mean, you could argue that it's just that would just be better here in this trial lane too, just for the purpose of at least giving them a little bit more of a combat chance here. And it said that's a very defensive mindset and saying, you know what, you're going to win this. We just hope to stay alive. But here we go again. I mean, he just is not able to move. The first stun hits, and he just can't move from all on out until he actually dies. And you see Pyromancer and Myrmidon it, and now they're at a point, too, where they've fallen so far behind, they just don't have enough follow-up themselves. You got mana batteries on Sync, and obviously this just goes back to Sync has really taken advantage of how the setup has worked here, and they're playing it very well themselves, too, so serving the credit there on that side of things. But Riptide's level 6, so you know that's where you got to think now for this Legion team. Maybe got to get something here going.
Yeah, maybe try and look bottom. He's going base now. Maybe he's gonna come bottom here with his next move. And of course, Sipit just hit 6, and I think he is gonna say that Riptide's missing here. But of course, you don't know. He could be right here. You don't see him, so he could be there still.
That's true.
The good thing about Riptide, you never know where he is. And or the bad thing if you're against him.
Well, yeah, and I honestly, I say this in the cast a bit because honestly, it's just reminding myself, if anything, that yeah, we see him, but they don't. Like, he's actually invis when he's in that water, so it's not like a lot of other invis where it's pretty obvious if they are. So you just really have to remind yourself that that's the case for sure. But middle.
He's actually going for killing Hellbringer here.
Oh, no, there's Malphus. He is going to be stopped, actually. Ended up hitting Malphus because of that. Now, we do see Hellbringer does go down in the end, so good attempt right there from Zebby. But now Ravener actually coming in with that double damage rune, but he immediately turns around. He is not going to pick a fight with those two, and probably for the better.
Yeah, that could have been ugly for him, so good decision. I mean, good kill here for them. If they can maybe do the same thing to Mage Pain, and then, you know, that bottom lane can kind of try and not feed anymore. I mean, winning 2 lanes like that is also an option. But I just think if they can, you know, manage to get 2 or maybe 3 kills bottom, that's huge. That's the way back, I think. But I mean, killing Mage Bane will allow them to stay in the game better at the same time.
Yeah, because Mage Bane is nearly 400 gold per minute. He is essentially free farming at the top lane, 51 and 4 creep farm. He's got the life tube already, so well on the way to a rune cleaver right here. You do see Engineers scouting things out. Oh, he got a little too curious, perhaps, and this is going to be at least one of those kills you're talking about to be had for the Legion side. So, yeah, that little antsy right there. I mean, no Ravener being here. You got to fault Engineer a little bit.
Yep, and I mean, good one from Krebson. I think Engineer was trying to put a void behind the tower. I'm assuming that's why he was there. But Krebson has a void out here, spotted him, put the W on, got the stun off. Nice stun from Midas.
Yeah, I was going to say, they don't really have the best lead stun, as you pointed out, but they actually connect that right there with the transmute, so good catching the Magnus as well. So a couple of kills. Now, in the meantime, Mage Bane does get the top tower kill, so definitely takes away a little bit of what's going on, but still, they're fighting here in the Nightmare Knights here.
Yeah.
Coming back early.
I think it's alright. I mean, at this point, they might actually be committed to just ignoring Mage Bane and trying to kill the other 4 heroes. And in that way, you know, make your 5 heroes stronger than their 4 heroes. And in that way, you can, you know, focus all out on Mage Bane later on. And not really care too much about the rest because they don't have too much. So that's the strategy they're going for here.
They're going to push out Mage Bane from the top lane at least as Midas, so going to pick up the farm there. Ravener back down to the bottom lane, so we'll see if Nacera, only 285 gold per minute for a hero that's 0-0-4. What seemed like they've been really dominating this bottom lane for the most part. That's a little surprising, so it really kind of opens your eyes a little bit that, okay, maybe he isn't doing as dominant as you would have figured here. Sandwraith, is he on? Yeah, top lane. They're going to go for Mage Bane right here. Is it enough? The silence, the watery grave, the transmute, can he get it off? It doesn't even need it. It's enough for damage right there to pick off Mage Bane. So, as you're saying here, they're actually doing these objectives here, and it's working.
It's looking good. I mean, they need more of that. They just need their 5 heroes to be stronger than 4 others except for Mage Bane, and they can really compete. And this is looking fine. This is just, they have to keep it up. And I mean, if they can keep hitting those skill shots from like Midas, we saw Midas hitting combo on a target that wasn't stunned bottom, So if they can keep it up, they're definitely in a good spot.
Got some chances here to say the least. You do see Hellbringer. He's walking towards the bottom lane. Rune's going to be spawning about 15 seconds right here. But he's interested in joining the team down here in general. You do see going to run past a Ward of Rev, so possibly going to be spotted right there from the Legion side. The tower is not dead just yet. It's got about 325 life on it, so the Legion side has a little bit of time to move over and make a play. But here's that Ward aside from the Hellborn team, going to spot them incoming. And now they're going to push on in. Pyromans are going to get caught initially. Wheatfield will miss right there. However, the Magic Carp stun does hit. There's the combo coming out from Pyromancer. The dot, though, is going to take him down in the end. But now Magnus also goes down a 1-for-1. There could be more. Tower goes down. Hellbringer, he's trying to juke and jive. He does have Malphus. We'll look to use it right here. Yes, he will. Out comes Malphus. The ball lightning in as well from Ravener. Down goes Midas right there. And now Myrmidon on the run. However, Riptide, he clashes in with that Eye of the Storm. Takes out Hellbringer. And now turns the attention to Engineer. Ravener, he's going to come back in. But nice Weedfield to catch Engineer. And the Legion team actually winning this fight here in the end. Ravener, he's trying to stay alive 1 versus 3. He has potential, but it's not going to work, it looks like. He is going to go down. He does not do enough damage to kill Sandwraith. And ultimately a 4-for-2, I want to say, in favor of the Legion side right there. Huge for Nightmare Knights.
Yep, it's a really good fight there. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, good from Riptide coming in there to kind of save the day, taking out Hellbringer and finishing off the Engineer. I mean, good fight for them. That's nice to see. I mean, at the stats, it's kind of like they gained some experience, but Magebrain is farming away still. And,
yeah.
I think both teams are okay with that, what just happened.
Yeah, as you're pointing out earlier, I mean, if anything, this Legion side is a case of, you know what, Magebrain's going to get his farm. We can't worry about that. We can't get too caught up in that. We just got to kill that supporting cast and, you know, worry about ourselves there and hope that it's going to be enough to handle the Magebane eventually. So, I mean, they have killed him once at least, so keeping him in check here. But, yeah, he is back up to about 450 GPM. Does have 1 broadsword now, so the Rune Cleaver just about there. Ravener always kind of has been an interesting hero when it comes to item build, and I don't know if things necessarily are a huge difference after this rework of him. Should we still expect to see like an Abyssal Skull, a Portal Key, or what?
We could, but I think he kind of needs a mobility item now, because he's not that fast until he's hit, you know, a hero like 8-9 times. Then he's, you know, up there. Or Riptide might find him here.
Creeping from behind. There we go. Ravener caught. Look at the collapse on top of that. Now, the immediate response from Magnus actually kind of throws it off a little bit, but Sandwraith porting it and everything. They do get the kill on a Ravener, but it comes at a cost on the Riptide. He goes down. Magebane joining the party. Mana Rift. He's like, I don't want to use it. I think that was him canceling. I'm pretty sure it was. And actually, Midas may live.
Thinking he had the kill, and then he got fogged on the second one. I think so, at least, because I think it would have been a kill if he used it right away, but I'm not really sure there. I think he thought they had the kill or something. Yeah. Or maybe he just evaluated that he didn't have enough damage to kill him with the ulti there.
It was level 2. I think that might have been enough, but Hellbringer is going to get caught in the middle lane, and so speaking of that Midas, he kind of does a loop around and eventually comes middle to kill the Hellbringer right there. So, yeah, that's a big missed opportunity from Magebane coming out, I feel like, especially with Midas coming back in to then assist on the kill in the middle lane. So
I think that actually went pretty well for Sync. I mean, they killed the Riptide for the Ravenor. It was a pretty good exchange to this point. Riptide had a legendary streak too. But now they killed the Hellbringer too here again, so that's good for them. I mean, this is a back and forth game, pretty even so far.
Yeah.
It all comes down to, will Magebane get out of control, or will they be able to contain him later?
Yeah, obviously we saw last game with the Tremble, and again, kind of similar in that sense, where Tremble was just taken off, but they are definitely different heroes as well. The biggest thing being that the Tremble can be active with the team really early on, right from the get-go, essentially, and with that Boris, and, you know, obviously he just kind of took off. So, you know, maybe Magebane is a little bit different when it comes to that, where that's why this Legion side is not as worried, and whatnot. There's going to be a little more time, definitely, before Magebane is a actual pretty big threat here, but that time it is coming. I mean, again, 480 gold per minute is pretty scary, especially when your own carry just continues to not do that great here. 240 GPM here for Super KGE, so he did go the Energizer, obviously a way to combat here in the earlier on of the game with the stats.
I think he should still go for the Mark of Brilliance here. I think it's still pretty effectful onto Hellbringer Magnus. I think still the plan is to kill the team and then kill Magebane, so I think he should go for it if he can manage to get it here. Not die and, you know, keep getting these fights off that gives him assists or even kills, and not dying himself. I think that's the way to go here for him. Of course, it's easier said than done. But,
yeah. It is good, though, so
Yeah.
hard to not want to get here. So, again, keep an eye on Super KG and what he does choose to go in the end. You have Midas kind of pushing out the top lane. He's got the Ring of the Teacher Reef, and he's got just a lot of build-up here. The Gravelock at the bottle, power supply. That's another 600 or so gold saved up now, so maybe going to be something like that Portal Key next coming out for him, or possibly even like a post-haste here. Because the mobility could be important. Ravener might be in trouble here middle lane. Both teams almost, it's like they're almost baiting each other right here.
Yeah.
Some mid-wars. So they're going to go see it. Oh, man, he's stunned, but the Eye of the Storm went first. He did not get stunned as a result. Malphus in the back on. There's the energy field, though, and now Riptide. He is in a pretty bad spot, but he is going to be able to walk on out. Will he actually get away from this? Doesn't look like it. Eventually gets caught. That was an interesting start, but in the end, it looks like Sync Esports feeling pretty good with it, and they continue. Midas gets the combo on Hellbringer. Not going to happen, though. There's the mana rift for 580 to drop Midas there shortly after. So it's a 2-for-0. Could be more, as nope, Sync is not going to chase too far. They'll be happy with the tower kill right here. So Sync Esports, and that mid-wars fight was brewing for a little bit right there, and eventually they went, and Sync comes out on top in the end.
Yeah, both teams were kind of baiting it. They had brought 5 players that time from Sync. I'm a little surprised that Riptide didn't buy back and TP in. I think that's, I mean, if he can buy back and, you know, turn that fight for them, I think that's definitely worth it at this point of the game. Because what you don't want is to see Mage Bane get, or his team get further ahead, and himself. So he should possibly have bought back then TP'd in, but chose not to. I guess he also, like the Skype call was saying, you know, let's get out, we out. And then, you know, you don't want to buy back, so.
Zlapped picking up a solo kill on Super KG at the top end in the meantime. I kind of caught that like right after it began, but essentially it just stunned in and then eruption, and Samurai just could not get out of range. So well played from Zlapped right there. He also does a good job of getting away from Myrmidon and his combo. He even stuns back in because here comes Ravener, and now Pyromancer is definitely going to fall, possibly Myrmidon as well. He does have that ultimate of the Forced Evolution if necessary. Here goes Riptide, by the way, going to clash in. Down and goes Magnus, and now Ravener's chasing. Forced Evolution, he's going to use it right here?
Ulti?
Why did he not ulti that whole time?
Not sure.
What's the purpose of having it? Riptide is going to avoid the ball lightning and get out of there, but yeah, I don't he definitely had the mana. I mean, I was watching the ability.
I think he may have valued, you know, trying to get Wheatfield off cooldown and using that. I think that's his logic behind it. But yeah, I think he should have used it. He might ultimately have been dead, but it wouldn't have been in 2 hits.
No. Would have definitely taken a bit longer, but in the end didn't. Went down. Meanwhile, bottom lane, though, Hellbringer gets picked off. And now Mage Bane, no, he's going to be able to blink away in time, so cannot chase him down. But the action does continue. But got to say, Sync Esports, they are getting a slight lead continuing to be built here of upwards of 9,500 gold lead now.
Yeah, and the Mage Bane 600 GPM now. It is getting very scary. It's they have to win these fights here early on, and yeah, Sync is just gonna, you know, get out of control. So yep, yeah, nothing more to say about that. Hopefully they can get the next fight in their favor. Magnuson coming in again here.
I just keep looking back at Sandwraith, who is trying to go for Engineer up here. There's the middle action too. Shortcon does go down, playing that Riptide, and yep, Engineer is going to be able to walk away from Sandwraith. Again, that right there should kind of tell you something. That Sandwraith ports in, and in a lot of cases, you know, Sandwraith does like to be able to get in there and kill off the supports, but wasn't able to. And obviously a tablet on an Engineer, and Engineer in general is somewhat of a difficult support to kill sometimes, because of that keg stun especially. So, but yeah, looking at Sandwraith, it's 230 gold per minute. I feel like it's almost kind of gone down every time. These couple of times I've looked at it lately for Sandwraith. So he just really cannot get any kind of consistent farm here in this game.
It's because they're losing those fights, so he's not getting he's investing a lot of time into them, and they're not getting anything from them, and that's what really hurts him. So yeah, they have to win the next fight here, else it's looking really grim. But they can force. I would also say that when we saw them go onto Magnus up top, it's really to the draft of those heroes that they don't have that target or single target stun or whatever that can set it up. Because we see Myrmidon magic carving, Magnus steam buffs, doesn't get hit by it, and then he uses the wheat field, kind of hoping that he's on that magic card, but then doesn't hit that. And I mean, you missed 2 spells already, so. And from that point, you know, he just power supplied and stuns both Myrmidon and Pyromancer, and that's really to the draft here. they don't have those heroes to to gank that effectively. Of course, also well played from Zlapped, but it's also it could be harder than dodging something like a blink Mirax's stun or something.
Yeah. Oh, Magnus, nice stun right there. The ball lightning actually misses too, though. So they had the same idea, just having a Magnus stun hit first, but it is going to be a kill on a Riptide most likely. There's the energy field slow and the damage, the purge even, and down he goes. So good catch there. Magnus trying to go further, but Myrmidon a little quick there to react, so going to be fine. Mage Bane, he's still going in. Magnus does miss that stun, though, and that will cost him his life. So that's, a couple of good plays there from Zlapped. That time around, he just came up short, unfortunately. But they're still going to push the secondary tower. It's not the biggest deal in the world for Sync Esports right here. And again, the not to be negative Nancy on the Nightmare Knights here, but the lead is just getting bigger and better. 13,000 gold lead, 10,000 experience, and Mage Bane is Geometer's Bane, Rune Cleaver, another 1,600 gold saved up here. So, if Sandwraith, maybe was close to that mock and just doing a little bit better there, but man, he's just not getting anything still. That GPM chart is depressing for them, I gotta say.
Definitely. That's just looking at Mage Bane there. It's so hard. The most important, like if the supporting caster was switched, the GPMs, then I mean there might have been a chance, but that's not how it is here. If you saw Hellbringer at 200 and Riptide at 350 instead and stuff like that, so that's not how it is, and it played out here. As soon as Sandwraith joined the first fight here, when they had a true 5v5, it started to go in Sync's favor. So,
there's a top tower kill for Mage Bane. See Riptide here, he's trying to finish that Shrunken Head.
He got 700 TPM. Man.
Yeah, it's that high, jeez, it is. Magnus stuns in. Engineer, oh, nice tablet right there. That was interesting, actually. What did he get tableted by? Oh, that's himself. Okay, he has one. Anyways, he is going to be fine, and now they're setting up a turn. Engineer getting caught, but no, the stun from Magnus, and in comes Mage Bane. Tears through Sandwraith. They did lose Engineer in the end, but they're going to come out on top of this one. Mana Rift. Maybe a little overkill there, but it gets a double tap when it's all said and done, and oh boy, he's 6-1-2 now.
Yeah. Well, at this point, the Magnus eruption, it's not that important. It's all about blink stunning people, and Mage Bane comes in to use 3-4 auto attacks and gets the kill.
Wow.
Like chasing the Riptide.
Yeah, Hellbringer really wants this kill, and honestly, he may just get it because of that.
Yeah.
That Malphus, he used the his E right there, the Evil Presence as well for the minus magic armor, the dot. It's going to be enough. Good synergy. Yeah, that's something.
Top here.
That's something that's interesting. I mean, maybe we don't see it a whole lot, but what is Ravener doing, by the way? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Did he have something on him so he couldn't blink? Because he dropped his portal key and stuff. I don't know. It is Misera, so.
Yeah. I think it was a little bit of troll there.
Okay.
But maybe something. But yeah, let's talk about Hellbringer with the Evil Presence. Interesting. I mean, I'm sure they use it quite often, even, but it's maybe hard to tell some of the times. But they using the ability is interesting idea how it reduces their magic armor by up to 4, obviously at maxed out, and slows them on top of that. So be pretty good synergy with not only himself, but heroes like Ravener for that matter, and other magic damage dealers.
Yep, that's pretty good. Well, those few heroes that reduces magic armor. I think Hellbringer, Blacksmith, and Myrmidon, Revenant is the only 4, I believe. But when you see 2 of those heroes together, and you see a magic damage burst team, that's people drop. So.
Oh yeah. Let's just say magic dealers might be liking a new item coming up here in this new patch. Just say that.
I don't hate it.
No, but the reason why I actually said that too is because after this game, the plan is hopefully we'll be joined by Idager once again, and we got another leak to be had, and it has something to do with magic damage. I'll say that much. So,
yep.
Look forward to that, guys.
That's interesting. Looking forward to that one.
Sword of the High on Sandwraith. So he is still going for it, and well, he's almost there.
Yeah, guess that might be, the mind process here. That let's try and get the sort of the high here and the mark, and then see if we get some kills without losing any heroes, and then go from there.
Yeah, I think that at this point it is the right call for sure. Because it's that case of you are just kind of so far behind. Might as well try something, go for something pretty radical here, and still try to get it. But I mean, he still needs that 1350 for the pattern, and then nice PK in base. Or do they actually find out somehow? I think
know. Well, it's not on him, so they saw him drop things, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, those people that were there should at least have been watching, so.
That's funny.
Of course, you can't pick him up or destroy them anymore, so.
Nope. You see, he wants them, man.
He does.
He's like, I can't get in there, though. This is
They're right there.
tough. All right, well, here we go. Malphus comes down. You see Ravener will pick up his portal key. They kill Pyromancer off the bat. Magebane, he's full throttle here. Double damage. Randy just got the Whispering Helm, even the Wing Bow. He just tears through Riptide. And now Samwraith will pop that Mirage. No Mocker Brilliance, though, just yet. So, again, not the most impactful. Hat trick for Hackstring coming out. Could possibly be more as, well, no, that'll be a kill for Zlapped right there. So, buybacks being used by the Legion side. It actually looks like, oh, never mind. I guess Pyroman's the only one that has used a buyback, and that was earlier. So, simply staying alive a little bit longer than maybe I thought. But I don't know if Nightmare Knights is going to be able to hang into this one much longer. It's no racks did yet or anything like that, but clearly this is just out of control now for Sync Esports here.
Yeah, he's on a GPM now. They can't kill him. They got token there though, the base too. But yeah, it seems like game over here.
Maybe it's just hacks, man. 700 plus GPM on Treble last game.
It's hacking. Yep.
800 plus on Magebane this game.
He's doing well. It seems like, I mean, I think when you have a player like him on your team, I think this is kind of how he should play, right? Or draft at least. Give him that hard carry. It's not going to disappoint you.
Yeah. Well, there we go. GG, well played, being called, and it is going to be official here. It will be a 2-0 in favor of Sync Esports, and that means they're going to win their first Series 0 of the group stages, so obviously a strong start for them, feeling good about it. As far as Nightmare Knights is concerned, they will fall to 0-3, still remaining with the 0 points currently, so still looking for their first victory here. We'll see when that happens to come. Dare I say, if it comes, but I will say they did actually get a couple points last cycle, and the potential is there. They are a solid team, but clearly at the same time, I mean, they are also going through some roster changes perhaps here right now, so that's never an easy